the dark annales that we call 2020, the ancient scriptures foretold that the return of one man could change the tide. For years, our cries left unanswered. Then, when the world needed him most.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam, also known as Seananners, and guess who's back from the grave?
I'm sorry, what? I mean, was this real? Was this a dream? Ow. In case you didn't know, Adam, aka Seananners, aka Seananners, recently dropped a comeback video explaining where he has been. And in this video, he dropped a lot of bombs.
I'm like neck and neck with Jesus.
From being a gamer to now being a real estate mogul. So let's go over his comeback video, the aspects of his disappearance, and what I think his future really holds. For those of you who don't know, about a month ago, I uploaded a documentary about the life and career of probably one of the most influential gamers on the platform. Even those who didn't watch him knew the meme, "Never trust Nanners." And after 730 days and what has felt like over a decade here in 2020, we now finally have some answers. This comeback is a big deal, but why now? Now, the hardest part about his disappearance for many of us was the lack of a goodbye. But you see, in 2018, we knew something was up. Someone who had been a daily uploader now just uploading 1 or maybe 2 videos a month, that's not normal. But none of us could have foreseen what the next 2 years had in store. Why was there no goodbye? Well, in this video he gave us a few reasons. One of them simply being that he had really bad communication skills.
I have to listen to myself and other people and not just hear things, but listen and take them in.
But in addition to that, I don't think he ever really planned on leaving forever. In my video, I heavily focused on the monetary reasons for his disappearance. But behind the scenes, there was something much more at stake for Seananners. His mindset.
2018, that was probably the darkest year of my life.
Anxiety, depression, stress. For the life of a YouTuber, it wasn't going great. I'm sure you've seen or heard of from somebody that you watch on YouTube this idea of creator burnout. Now here's a poorly chosen analogy. Imagine you loved baking. You picturing that? And you loved baking so much that you decide you want to open a bakery shop. Now, little did you know that this bakery shop was gonna be the talk of the town. And then one day you find yourself so consumed with just being able to keep up with the status quo that this stress and constant anxiety over your shop's performance has been eating away at your very love of the reason that you ever baked in the first place. Baking just doesn't get you off like it used to. And if you ever get off to baking, I think you should talk to your therapist. But now imagine that this baker is Seananners. Okay, end of bad analogy. But I think especially for the viewer, sometimes it's hard to imagine how much of a toll not only this grind can take on your daily life, but also your mental well-being.
There's been a lot of unresolved trauma that has taken me some time to figure out.
And in 2018, we have to remember that YouTube was becoming a very different place. Something I talk about in my video is the algorithm changes over the past few years, pitting certain types of content and putting it ahead of others. In addition, at this time, something that Adam is very open about, YouTube was his everything.
Just working all the time, making videos. I've made almost 1,800 YouTube videos.
But you see, when you're a creator, you're not just someone making videos. You're the talent, the editor, the marketing, the PR, the everything. Adam, who's had extensive experience in this creative space, from working at Machinima to creating daily content to starting his own MCN. He knows how difficult it is to achieve success and then maintain it.
And I just sort of, in 2018, was lost.
But how could you feel so lost when you have this massive success? Well, a few things. When you have all your eggs in one basket, this basket being YouTube, it can be really risky, especially in an online climate becoming ever more strict. Something that 2 years ago probably wasn't only shooting his stress and anxiety through the roof, but also playing a role in his creative burnout. Success is truly seen through the eye of the beholder. And I'll come back to that very statement in a moment. let's talk money. Now, I'm just gonna be upfront, I don't have a business degree, I don't have particularly a lot of sensible investment strategies. I'm just a guy sitting here in my bedroom trying to do his best. If there's one thing I do know, it's this huge misunderstanding of how YouTube money works. Now, even during his absence, something that Cinnamon Toast Ken points out in his own video about this, Adam was still raking in about 100,000 views a day, which for someone that hasn't uploaded in 2 years is insane. But if you ask anyone on YouTube, they will upfront tell you that YouTube ad revenue should never be your #1 source of income. It's highly volatile, and now with the whole YouTube demonetization thing, you could be just one video away from wasting a whole day of work, which has happened. It can be incredibly hard to maintain, and it's stressful. Insert here, passive income. Wow. Something Adam actually talked about in his video a lot.
There's tons of ways that you can create reoccurring revenue for yourself,
but I think here we need to really emphasize that word's importance. Adam knew that he had to branch out outside of the entertainment and YouTube industry. One of these ways Adam found in renovation of homes and real estate. As you may or may not know, the housing market over the past few years has actually been on a bit of a boom, even here during a pandemic. With careful investment, this was probably one of the smartest things Adam ever did for himself and his family. Something that in my video, I focused on heavily. But money wasn't the major theme of his comeback video. In fact, the main crux had to do with something much more important. The idea of success. Does success equate to happiness?
and all these things didn't really provide the value that we once thought that they would provide.
As one commenter said, sometimes you have to make drastic changes to make yourself happy. For as long as anyone can remember, Adam was just a guy playing games with the boys, hanging out. But in 2018, he didn't feel the same anymore. A few months ago in a stream with Hutch, he actually mentions this idea of pursuing minimalism.
And then I realized I didn't really need too much of anything. Kind of on a journey to more minimalism.
The biggest reason behind Adam's disappearance was a lack of fulfillment, which is understandable. Without purpose, what do you really have? And a major point we can take away from Adam's video is the importance of finding purpose outside of validation. Now, having spent time with his mind refocused on other outlets, he can come back to gaming fresh, and in this way, kind of returning to his roots. So what does the future hold for Adam? Well, in his video, he mentions that right now it's really an open range.
And I guess the question is, where do I go from here? Am I gonna make videos again?
But why come back now? It begs the question, if there was no pandemic, if we were not in this crisis, would he have ever jumped back into his gaming chair? We could debate that all day long. Either way, it certainly makes for perfect timing. I'm glad my video didn't age like wine and instead aged like milk left out in the sun for a week and a half. The Seananners we have today isn't the same man that left in 2018. I think it's safe to say after seeing his video that he is going to be streaming. He is going to be making more videos. But I don't think they're going to be like they used to be. The Nanners man, now unshackled from the bonds that he had spent so many years being stuck in. Now with new passions for apparently getting buff, carpeting it up like Jesus, and in recent years with looming copyright issues all over the platform, breaking out into his own music. I think going forward we're going to be seeing a lot more creative endeavors, or at least I hope so, from Adam.
I'm far from perfect, but I'm much happier than I was 2 years ago, and
it's truly an exciting time to read the comments on both my video and his and see the passion and inspiration that he has spread to people throughout the years. All of these great things being said, we still may not see a great return to consistency for a little bit of time, stating that he is still really involved in his other real estate projects. But in doing so, it has given him now the freedom to create without the stress of income. If only we all were so lucky. And a lot of us hold this nostalgic Nanners to heart, and maybe now we can embrace the new and improved Adam. Someone who has a lot of faults, but is willing to admit them and willing to improve in every aspect. Something I think we all could learn from.
trying to be better. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm Ryan, and I'll see you in the next video.